just been feeling like it's all clicking, you know? Like it's all working out. And I'm about to work out. Colossal, B.I.G. Look, the universe been throwing me all the signs except stop it. Been plotting on me, but here's a plot twist. I can't throw fists no more unless it's profits. Lord, why you keep boxing me in? Cause I'm God's gift. I might set my mic back up in the closet though, just to give myself that same feeling from 04 when my hunger was more. Advice to you and yours. They say it's over for you, that's when you go overboard, okay? I didn't take a break, my God broke. Broke my heart, broke my soul, don't cry for me though. If you don't break nothing down, then there's no room to grow. One mental block leads to another, this dominoes. Mixtape shine, but I'm an album mode. Ooh, she give me praise, I love it, angel face. So fast she could work at TSA. I went to school at Castle, Leah went to DSA a mile away. Just letting you know the type of kings and queens my city make. And I probably need a parade. All the soldiers with me, this is like Green Beret. So legendary, I'ma probably need a day. Forgot I already got one, be damn if I'm not one. You talking about the hottest in the city, most influential rapping, that's and I'm the top one. Me and M knocked down doors for y'all that was locked once. I know they might never get me, I still put on for the city like the Lions first round pick me. I ain't been fucking, I've been too busy. I got 2 phones, they both business. I got fake ones trying to end me. I got real ones go defend me like a co-defendant. I got that life on my pendant. I'm conditioned to do the distance, and I just set up the pensions. Family said like my intentions. Been balancing, trying to keep my company with the girls who wanna keep me company. You know the ones who claim they over me, but would much rather be under me. It's confident and been through too much just to be done with me. And you know that gets stressful, right? Taxing the same thing that got Wesley Snipes. And you know how I'm rockin' Elvis Presley White. You know how life reelin'. All highlights like we're sitting on top of museum ceilings. No more resisting. If you ain't on my frequency, you out of tune and not tuned in to break the unbreakable. Escape the unescapable. You push your fucking limits, you don't even know what's capable. That you believe in, I believe in me. Talking on their phones and PC like they off that PCP. You just spit that easy E, face to face, back DVD. I don't got no time for hanging out and all that ETC. Just cut the check, CTC. God body my physique. I can look inside your eyes and know exactly what you mean. You mean energy, the first language that I speak. No facade, I belong in the palace of Versailles with a queen by my side. In this hot girl summer, I'm just trying to find a wife. Visualizing from every island that's on Hawaii with my team on each side, like with the last laugh like Kawhi. And you know that you that one when you beat all the other odds. I keep one for planet at home and the other one on swivel though. Gotta keep them both cause this get way too pivotal. All the work is analog, all the payment digital. When tempers tend to flare up, I'm the one to be cool since preschool. I know it's ones that's been rocking with me, dog, since the prequel. Just be cool, I know your favorite one, dog. I'm about to drop the sequel. This is the preview, done.
Strike to claim it. A strike to claim it.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are?
What up? What up, what up? All right, we are live. How's it going, squad? Welcome, Tradetopia, to another session. All right. Isaiah, what's good, man? Isaiah Burrows, what's happening? Corey, what's up? DeAndre, Gabriel, Patrick, Brandon. Feliz jueves a todos aquí que hablan español, que se conectan. Took the silver cells I sent in school last Tuesday. Zone just mitigated. Let's see. Oh, you know what? My alert did not go off. That is super unfortunate because I had the same zone. What? No way. I didn't check it this morning. All right, I'm gonna get my screen here up in a second. Where's silver? Where's silver? Where's silver? Oh, you know what? It didn't mitigate for me. It got a little bit short. Huh. I'll pull this up here in a second. But yeah, what up, everyone? If you're not in the community, scan away. Feel free. Let's dive into this. All right. So, how'd it go, everyone? How was yesterday? Yesterday we had some fun yesterday. We had, you know, some good YM buys. We had a great setup. We were very patient here as the market was lining up. We had one mitigation over here that went over at 1R, and then either you went break even, maybe a reduced risk loss on this one. And then we had our shakeout setup right here where best case scenario, if you took it to the end of the day, you had this going about a 7R. The exit that I had for you guys, which I said was the highest probability and high RR, high probability exit, was playing right out of this here. So we got right into here. That was the 5.5R exit. So I know some of you got that. You guys went crazy yesterday sharing all your wins in here in the community. So it was amazing to see it. If you guys ever want to just get some inspiration, check out the wins in here. NQ buys, YM wins. We had today's win with Dow, YM wins, all that stuff going on here. And just all you guys responding to my post. I think this is where there was actually more. Yeah, right over here at 3RR for me. Them caught the move, got a 5R, 2.5, smack TP. You know, all that good stuff. So yeah, great. Love to see it. However, as you guys probably noticed, YM started to slow down. The bullish price action started to slow down, and it did start to lose more momentum, and things started to go down more than these other ideas. So if you look at it now, actually, Dow got below. So we got below what we thought could happen. So we started trading below all of these levels. I do still have a zone set up here with Dow. So getting, we've already gotten to the low of the... It's like I have to sneeze once before we get started. That's how you know we're going to have a good session. Why? Why does that happen? It's like the only time I sneeze in the day. Some sort of lingering dog hair. It just has to happen. It's like a rite of passage. It's so funny. That's so funny. Whoever noticed that, and it's now like it's a thing. It's for sure a thing now. So anyways, yeah, I think we get below these lows. Maybe we can push down to here. There's more going on over here, but yeah, we could break this. The low of the week was on Tuesday during London, and then we've kind of just slowly grinded our way below this. It seems reasonable for us to go lower today. Now, if we look at NASDAQ, what I talked about yesterday was the market rejecting this zone over here. So coming all the way down, breaking below these levels. And then we saw the market come right back up. So we definitely do have lower demand over here. This is the truth. The market did not want to trade here for very long. We are bearish, like on these, 15-minute during this week, we are very bearish. Market structure has shifted. So that's still the case. Lower highs, lower lows. In this example, we do see when the market came down to here, it's very little time, and the market skyrockets and spends more time trading up here. So if the market comes back to the zone, would I take this buying opportunity? Especially considering it is more bullish than Dow. Yeah, I like the idea. S&P similar as well on this move, and then ES giving us yesterday a really good bounce out of this imbalance. It is efficient over here. It's mitigated really well. If I just continue to zoom out, the only little bit of imbalance I kind of see is over here, but everything else is pretty much like solid with ES. Like S&P did a really good job just trading around these areas. This is kind of like the only little spot. Even here had a pretty healthy pullback. And I wouldn't even be too concerned about price action over here with S&P. So when I see that S&P is relatively efficient, maybe a little bit over here, yeah, that kind of like gives me more bias that we're going to be wanting to stay more bullish than anything here. So I think it'll be one of those days where NQ might hold up very bullish while Dow can actually start its bearish trend to the downside. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in here real quick because I want you guys to look at the entry zone that I have marked up. So we saw the market bounce, come down again, bounce up, and then we see one last drop, the final drop before the market picks up momentum, and that happens right here. So you see support, the market stalls out, a doji, one last push down before it starts to move to the upside. So in this area is where I think we could go reverse and play back up. I think the safest bet in this case is to not, take this forever because we don't know. This could go lower. There's always a chance. But, taking a 2R to 3R, 2R to 2.75, that to me looks like you could have a good return. You don't need massive risk reward to be profitable. Depending on how quality your entry is, how often you hit mitigation, I mean, you can be profitable with a 1-to-1. If your market constantly bounces off your zone, even a small amount, and you collect, I mean, your win rate starts to go up pretty aggressively. So as of right now, yes, I'm definitely leaning more towards buys with NASDAQ. It looks like the market is holding bullish structure much better. There is liquidity up here where we have like Tokyo highs. And then we have the New York move up and the movement. So, yeah, I mean, it looks good. All right. Let me keep saying what up to everyone. Yeah, yesterday's session was fire. Heavy reaction out of the zone. What's up, squad? One of Zias, took silver cells. Nice. Plugging in from France. Bougie. Top of the morning. What's up? Crazy market morning. Oh, yeah. Hi, friends. Hi, Nance. We lit, cuz. Yes, sir. Every day. It's cool. We just hang here every day. What's up, Vaughn? Diesel. Good day. Good day, sir. So we got close to the sell zone, but it appears that it's the bull of the moment. The buys are looking good enough if we hold demand. Yeah, good call. Bonjour, bonjour. Want to start this? I'm in silver cells. Okay. Didn't mitigate on futures. CFDs, maybe the difference. Uh-huh. Damn, that Corey guy. What is it? You're wildin'. Was traveling yesterday. Feels like when I miss a session, it is the best. Sometimes, man. Sometimes. Sneeze of the day. Yeah, you gotta have it. No sneeze, no TP. With USRD being the bear at the moment in the session, does that make this NAS buy better? It does. It does. Yeah, good call. Look, boys, on it, man. On top of it. On top of it. Let's go. All right. So I would start identifying what your lot size, your contract size could be for a buy in the zone. We have New York open in a little over 5 minutes. Friendly reminder, though. We also have flash manufacturing news with the dollar. So I do want to take a look at dollar, some of the dollar majors, some metals again. So we have a pretty good opportunity. Now let's get this going here. So you know where the session is. The liquidity is really above the highs over here. Then we have the imbalance and the sell-off here for NASDAQ. So this is all coming together there. YM, if you're considering sells, shorts, funny enough, I was talking about it. We talked about how this could become a shakeout setup on Dow when it started to work its way down. And then, we got the continuation. When the market started flipping price action here, I didn't expect this to just sell off this aggressively, but it definitely has. So would I look for sells in here? A little sketchy because it's pretty sideways, so I wouldn't really force it. You do have kind of like yesterday where you had this London push down and then everything rallied. We had a similar move in Asian session where it works its way up and then starts to drop. Doesn't really take out too much liquidity. So yeah, not a major focus for me to trade like the open itself. I think we're going to have better opportunities later on in the session. So we'll wait it out. We'll stay a bit more patient. Going over to the majors and just looking at how everything is lining up here. A lot of liquidity buildup so far with Australian. The pound slowly but surely working its way down as well. I know some of you wanted buys out of this zone here. So looks like there was a bounce off of this order block. Still have a chance to go lower. I don't think I'm going to take this, but I know some of you were asking about it. CAD futures still got sells, but way up here. So we got to keep waiting on all this. I'll send this as a markup, at least for now. So let's get this drawn up here. And set your alerts with these guys. Like, honestly, a lot of these trades that end up happening later are playing out really well. But, yeah, it does require following up with them and then them happening in your trading hours. So, really important. From there, we have 6E, sideways movement, liquidity here. So you got retail buyers right there. Nice. Easy liquidity. Looks like we have some trend lines building up here. It just kind of depends on how you want to draw it, but yeah, definitely looks like it. Actually, if we draw it from here, it does look like we're building up quite a bit of liquidity here. So a break above this is a pretty big squeeze. So wouldn't be totally shocked if we get some aggressive movement soon. We got the yen. The yen giving some action here. Talked about this. We actually did talk about this. Coming down into this level and bouncing out of here. And then the yen likes to play out of these smaller zones. So if I'm not mistaken, I think it might have mitigated there. Yeah, look at that. Just right out of this area here. Sold off. So the yen still doing its thing. But are we close to any entries again? Not for me. NZD, chilling. Swiss franc, chilling. So yeah, not much going on, at least not anywhere near current price action with with that. Let me go and pull up indices because we are about to see the open. You guys know how it gets. These openings, these are fun. This is when shit goes down. We don't always trade right off the open. This has definitely changed over the course of the last few years. I remember being in the market a lot more often, like right off the open, like minutes after the open. I feel like recently it takes a little bit more time for a build up before an entry. So yeah, right now not too much going on. So okay, right now 10 seconds in, Dow more to the downside. So if we go to the 1 minute, and NQ, okay, here we go. Big NQ drop. Starting to see it come down. All right, little 40-point drop right there, 30-point drop. Dow, similar. Starting to drop as well. Don't get too caught up on the small time frames. Here's a little 1 minute, little push down. Not something I would necessarily look to trade or anything right away. Yep, just waiting it out. We're seeing both NASDAQ and Dow start to break below. Interestingly enough, S&P here. Whoa. Why? Here we go. So ES here also has the same drop as NQ. Pushes down and then makes its move to the upside. So what's it going to be? Oh, look at that. NASDAQ pushed down. Not too much demand here yet. Okay. This doesn't really get below really that much, so wouldn't necessarily be looking for a shakeout here. I'm definitely patient for the market to go lower and see us trade within this imbalance. There's a tiny little move right here that we might see a bounce from. Right here, you see a little push down before it just rips. So could we get a little bounce out of here? It's possible. I wouldn't look for an entry. Yesterday, the markets took a big bounce out of here. Dow and ES actually took a bounce out of that little drop right there. Here is where we had the mitigation, and then ES kept ripping to the upside. That's what was actually a big catalyst for that second move with Dow. At the same time, this is where Dow took that next move to the upside. Okay. So, like I said, I'm not necessarily looking for a buy here. It was just a small little move. It mitigated on ES. Just curious what happens now. So, now we're seeing sellers lose tons of momentum. We're seeing how now Dow has cleared out these lows, filled the imbalance, played right into this area. It looks like it didn't quite reject and get into the order block over here. So let's dive deeper into price over here. What did we miss? Was there more going on? So here's where we had the push down. All right, here's where we get a push down. This filled the imbalance, played out a structure, I guess, and then kept going. So definitely still have that open. Okay. All right, well, Yeah, it played off of a very small time frame order block. It didn't quite get down to this imbalance and that last bearish move down before it goes up. So I'm still observant here. I'm still like, I'm not fully bought into the idea that it's gonna just reject and like the market's just gonna rip from here. I'm not sold quite yet. It could start to make some, an argument for bullish movement, but let's just give it time. The market now came down, crashing, came right back up. When we see it crash this fast, and if it keeps going down this quickly, then there's really nothing I'm going to do here. I'm just going to let it keep dropping. Now, if the market would have stayed bullish and kept moving sideways, right? If we would have gotten more of market like this, whatever, then sure, we could have looked for maybe an entry. But that's not what happened. Esto no es lo que pasó. It didn't go down like this. So this is a way more vulnerable buying order if you were to look for it there. Same thing here with NQ. Yes, it drops aggressively. Yes, it comes right back up. Not enough proof for me that there's bullish demand yet. So I'm at peace with not being involved in the market yet. And honestly, if you look back at yesterday's session and the sessions beforehand, if you really want to study something, we'll go watch yesterday's live session. It was fire. Like, not just because we made money and we had a good RR, but because we said no to a lot of opportunities, enticing things. I broke down step by step, like where the markets were going to go, hours beforehand, why. So it was just really in depth. I think the psychology of smart money was very much present and detailed. So it was a play by play, like for sure. So if you want to study, go rewatch that one. Definitely a live case study. So NQ doing its thing, still pushing lower. Dow, I don't have any desire to take a position here. Maybe it bounces here, but that's not what I would trade anyways. So no buscaría compras. Sigo más enfocado en Nasdaq. And that means we could still drop even below into this imbalance. So plenty of zones here where the market could be providing opportunities. So for now we chill. Okay. So we still have in 7 minutes or so, we will be seeing metals do their thing. So let's take a look at that. Let's see. Stocks. Nothing crazy. Weeble in entry zone still. If you guys wanted to stack some more. All right. Now let's go look at those metals, right? We were looking at gold and silver and whether if it makes sense to take a position or not. And yesterday we saw gold clear these highs and then sell out of these zones. So started to work its way down. Big move down on gold. Big spike down. And then it's rallying at the moment. Silver moving sideways. But then the bullish move that it's done so far with silver. Silver is definitely taking the lead on the way up. So because now silver looks significantly more bullish than gold, I wouldn't take this sell anymore. So I'm no longer looking for sells on silver. I think I share this hold on, let me just make sure, because I think I had shared this as an idea. No, actually, I didn't share it. I think I went over it yesterday, but I don't think I shared to get in. So, yeah, I would no longer get in on silver here. So let me just, in case someone's not on the live session. Let's see. Silver more bullish than gold today. Therefore, no longer looking to sell. Okay. And in the meantime, the buys are looking to set up actually better than the sells. We'll see, because I do want more confirmation. With all this imbalance here, it would be a weird place for this to just keep going. So I'll just leave that at that. Okay, so Dow, yeah, pushing down, cool. NASDAQ, not necessarily getting super bullish yet, so we'll hold that down. So metals, yeah, not really too much that I want to do here. Even looking at gold, is there a gold trade that we could look to take advantage of? And this is borderline. I would say this is liquidity, so there's retail selling. So the news event, what it could do is it could clear liquidity, and maybe it starts to produce a shakeout scenario. So that might be the case. Maybe we see something like this, where it takes out the highs, we come right back down, we move sideways, and then we decide to look for a short. Something like this could be a possibility. So, all right. So now, okay. So with indices, now Dow is dropping down to this zone. I'm not going to buy Dow Jones, since I do believe NASDAQ could also still drop and play into this zone. NASDAQ is definitely holding a better bullish structure on the day so far. So I would rather stay patient and look for this. There's motive for price to drop with NQ, which could just keep pushing Dow lower. And considering the fact that there's still more imbalance that Dow has to fill, it wouldn't really be a massive shock or anything like that. So 2.5 minutes out from the news event, we can take more of a look with oil. Oil had just continued bullish on the day, which now introduces, in my perspective here, could we have an oil buy over here? Hold on. Let me just move this over here somewhere. All right, so do oil buys make sense? Well, let's take a look. We had liquidity here Wednesday, New York session. We see the market start to bleed, just starts to dip down. So we start to see it take out these lows, stalls out again here. Just a little bit more liquidity. After it does this, get that one last push down here. Boom. Alert limit reached. Damn. You've reached over limit of 2,000 alerts. The funny thing is I've hit this limit before. Delete all your inactives. Yeah. to the limits that have been. So yeah, I'm looking for a buy here on oil. I think we could have a good time. With that being said, what I would do now is, because this could play out here soon, we have that news event in 15 seconds. So it comes down to understanding what your contract size needs to be and then making the move. It may or may not happen like in this news event. I'm not necessarily sure. So let's see. It would be a good excuse, I'll tell you that much. All right, so nothing too crazy going down with the news event right away. Yeah, all right, so just making sure I have this here. With a stop this small, if you're trading futures, there's a good chance you might be trading around a contract on CL. MCL probably around, it depends on what you're risking. But if you're risking, let's say like $200 or less, you're probably about a contract with CL, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys, just in case you're still figuring that out. Okay, Dow continuing to push lower. Great. Obviously, we're not taking anything Dow related, and it's now looking to trade into the imbalance, so that's great. And then on top of that, now here is NQ in this little zone. I'm not going to bother with this little doji here. Could it bounce from here? Yeah. But since we already mitigated this with ES in the past, so take a look at that. We already played out of here with S&P, so I'm okay with just not even bothering. But I wouldn't be surprised if it does bounce out of here. So look at that. Looks like it's already doing that. It might just be a quick little bounce and then rally. So I don't even need to deal with that. I'm okay with it. Let's see. What we really want to be, on the alert is once the market really starts to crack below these lows. So once it starts to get below here, then we're getting into the good stuff. You don't necessarily have to even take an entry. It is going to bounce out of here nicely. Okay, I see you. This is one of those examples, like let's say you would have taken this trade because it was valid, right? I said, it's a mitigation play. Like I get it. This is one of the trades where like I would be in and I'd be out. I would take my money. If you took a bounce out of NQ here, I wouldn't get too greedy with the entry. That's my perspective. That's how I'm looking at this. At this point, let's say you took something like that. This is where a lot of money gets left on the table, or you're taking like intraday or like you're trading within like the range of a day, and then you overhold. So on a trade like this, getting a 1.5, 2.5, I think that's more than enough. So this has now been filled. What a bounce. Nice play. For real. Only reason I didn't go for this one was because we had already seen ES mitigate it here. And I'm thinking maybe we're not really going to push that aggressively there. So I was like, I'd rather not even take it. But if you did, awesome. Now, look, when you start to see, remember, this is a live candle, this 5-minute candle right now. So a lot of times people will see something like this, and then they're just convinced that, oh, it's bullish now, it's awake, okay, the market's going to reverse. But remember, every single candle at some point, is going through its own transformation process. So even during a 5-minute candle, it can be like this, and then it can end down there. Or a 5-minute candle can look like this, but the 15 can be down here. So remember, a live candle doesn't tell you the full story quite yet. So let the candle develop, let the market give you proof. Right now, for example, we saw a big move down. So we do clear New York open, fantastic. We get all the way down to yesterday's that's like secondary pump that we started to get here. So yeah, right now it's looking solid. If we were to, get higher highs, then cool, I'm down. I'm looking for a buy setup. But right now I need the market to prove itself to me. Like I need the market to basically sell me on the idea, give me enough evidence that, okay, yeah, we're bullish. A one move down and up, it's the same thing that happened here. It came down, came right back up. And then this obviously failed, and it went below. So the same thing can happen again. So don't let your mind fool you into filling in patterns that aren't quite there yet. Your brain does that. And also, for those of you that are more, that you tend to follow into this FOMO, and it'll feel more intense or less intense depending on your results and your expectations. But let's say you're like, man, I kind of wanted to take this trade and I didn't take it. Fuck, I would have made this or I would have made that. And then now you're no longer, and so this is just a caution. This is a warning. When you miss out on a trade, there are vulnerabilities. So when you miss out, all of a sudden, your mind can go towards, I just missed out on X amount of money, X amount of RR. I could have passed. I could have done this. I could have gotten at a drawdown. So now your mind is in a state where you want to get that feeling that you feel like you were robbed from, or that either, oh man, Mike threw me off, or, maybe you just did it yourself. But don't trade out of that state. Remember, the last trade doesn't change anything. Don't let your emotions clog your decision making, fog your ability to just trade. So don't chase anything. Just wait for the setup. Right? So even now, bounce, it's coming right back down. So would I look for a buy here? No. Not yet. The market would have to stay bullish sideways for a lot longer before I would consider a move. Plus, we haven't really taken out tons of liquidity. All of the liquidity was really happening up here. So yeah, I'm not really too interested quite yet. Dow is a different case though. Dow might be changing things up a little bit. This is a little different. So look at Dow Jones. So Dow, on the other hand, is possibly in the beginning of a mitigation setup. So we could be seeing this unfold. So a huge spike down. Okay, look at that. Big move down. This clears a substantial amount of liquidity, which played right into August 13th. So let me just zoom out significantly here for the sake of the example. So this hour currently has swept last week a couple days worth of lows. Wednesday, Thursday. So that's a lot of liquidity. Okay, so now this could get more interesting. Could is the key word. Could. If we go more bullish, so if we start trading higher, we start building up some demand up here, then yeah, I could be down for a buy for sure. But again, this is what I need. I would need structure to build up here. We need some proof. Otherwise, we're chilling. So we let the story unfold. So let's wait it out. All right, oil more than anything looks like pretty mellow. Just gonna set an alert, and then we can move on from that. Haven't traded Mexican peso in a couple weeks. Last time we traded the peso, I think we won 3 in a row, and then I think we took an L. We got wigged out, and then it just dumped. So peso's been pretty good for us. Now we're just more than anything waiting. Okay, crypto. Crypto looks like way easier trading than indices do right now. It looks like just very clear, and I'll explain why. For example, Solana. It's like, hey, yeah, this is liquidity. Easy liquidity at 182.75. We started seeing the market drop yesterday during New York session. So you see a huge imbalance. This is a bigger zone. Significantly bigger zone over here for buys. Then it slows down here for 10-15 minutes. One last drop before the market really goes for it. And so right here is more of what I'm looking for. So just to give you guys a bit more detail, you see some consolidation, some sideways movement here. And then finally the market does one more push to the downside before it takes the highs. So Solana, clean. Shifted structure. Went bullish. Traded up here. New York. Asian session. Into London. So these look good. Obviously, we're going to take a look at the other big crypto asset classes. So ETH, Bitcoin, etc. But so far, yeah, this looks like it could have something. I'm going to add it to the Tradetopia, to the trades. There you go. Daniel Orozco on top of it has an ETH chart. I can take a look at that right now. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I figured that. I hadn't looked at it yet, but I figured that could be a possibility. Real quick, let me just check in here with Dow. Look at that. NQ still pushing down. So what did I say? I said be careful. Take your money and get out. Let me look at the chat. Did you guys you still like silver shorts? No. Just posted my chart in the community post. I'll check it out. I'm in a swing sell on gold. Okay. I'll take a look at it. I took my gold sell roughly at 33.51. Question, Mike. How do you review your trades after you journal them? Where do you look to make adjustments? I'm currently doing a prop firm, and over a course of a few trades, I have a 38% win trades. Well, what is a few trades? Like 4 trades? 5 trades? How many? But what do I look for? I mean, if you have a system already down, then the big thing is, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? So, like, am I actually entering where I'm supposed to, exiting where I'm supposed to, managing it in the way I'm supposed to? If you have multiple exits or multiple types of management styles, then am I following them, and are these actually efficient? I would say don't really look into too much of the outcomes until you're 25, 50 trades in. Then you can start to see, okay, this is actually just not working. Like, it's sometimes it's not your whole strategy. Sometimes it's one thing. You may be just exiting you might be too ambitious with your exits. You might be too cautious with your entries. Or it could be risk. If you find yourself, especially with prop firms, it's a little bit more challenging because your system might work, but you might need more than a 5R drawdown. Some people are too aggressive, so you're losing a challenge, but you actually have a profitable trading style. So that's the things I would keep in track of. But most of the time, the biggest thing is like you're just not doing what you know you should be doing. And also, I would say, how do you define a win rate? Is it 38% wins and then everything else is losses? Is it 38% of your trades hit take profit? So those are also things you want to look at. Like, what's the average of your win at 38%? Okay, so right now, what's interesting is the way that this is starting to play out. Price action is flipping here. We're now seeing Dow hold this low, and it's trading here really well, while NQ is starting to go lower. So if we look at this, now, usually when we see a shakeout, the big sell-off, the market usually doesn't break above this. So usually it looks more like this. So let's say we were looking for a sell-off here, and this is something that we go over, especially like on the syndicate sessions. But like a shakeout usually is some liquidity buildup, and then why the fuck did it do that? And not only when it clears these lows, it clears this liquidity, but usually it's clearing liquidity from other days, other sessions, blah blah blah. So cool. Once it does that, it usually doesn't break above where it sold off from. It stays within it to lure in sellers, and then it makes the dip down. So it's like a break retest. So imagine retest traders get into profit, then we make the move. In this example, this had already broken above this. It didn't trade within it. It got above it, which is fine. This is okay, because now we can see exactly what I was talking about. Like, can we go more bullish, create higher highs, establish this way, and then look for a trade. So this is starting to give more and more evidence that the market could come back into here and then give us a buying opportunity. So for now, yeah, this looks good. And then same thing. So look at NQ. NASDAQ again, dip down, comes back up. So this is what happens here. Market goes down, starts to come back up. People start buying, takes them out, takes their stop loss out. Comes down, the market comes right back up. Okay, no. This time, it's got to go up, right? It takes out the low. Market's flying right now, going back up to here. It's gotta keep going, right? Well, let's see. Let's let the market tell us yes or no. Just let it do its thing. So right now, we are definitely seeing very strong bullish momentum out of Dow. Dow now taking out New York Open, New York highs, and then targeting. I don't know if it's going to target London highs right away. I think it might take a little bit longer, but now it is starting to set up for the possibility of a buy later. And meanwhile, NASDAQ did go up. It didn't go up anywhere nearly as aggressive as Dow has been going up. So my shift right now could be more actually towards buying Dow than buying NQ. We'll see how everything continues, but yeah. So there are options here. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this. I'm gonna add this to the ideas because both could be a possibility. So let me go ahead and put this here, like YM potential. Okay, so YM potential mitigation. Q potential shakeout. Here's the chart. All right. Drop my trade on live post in school. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, let me go take a look at your trades, guys. Yeah, that looks solid. That totally looks good. Omar. Good stuff, guys. Okay, where did you guys drop your trades? Was it on the live stream? Was Diaz? What's up, man? Yeah, the vibes are lit in here. Y'all active. What's up, Seth, Gabriel, Edgar, Jesus, Juan, Jimmy? Let's go, Jimmy. Jimmy, I responded to you. Check your DM. Same thing with you, Isaiah. Nicole, got DeAndre in here. GBP, that looks good. Yeah, I'd probably take a trade somewhere in this order block too. Yeah, this is fire. Good Euro GBP. Gold sell you're in. So you sold over here. And then like you're in this right now, that's what you said, right? Okay. I don't love the way that this is looking. If the market keeps trading higher, this might not hold up. You see how it sold off, but then immediately came right back up? It kind of showed us that the market was more focused on filling the imbalance, but then just continuing. So, but since it failed to stay up here, you might be in... Yeah, it's in like a crossroads right now with your setup. So let me take a look at it. Let me look at gold again, and I'll give you my feedback on whether it's going to keep selling or what it's going to want to do. But yeah, so yeah, you see how the market came crashing down, and then it just came right back up. Had this stayed bearish, I'd say you were in the clear, but now that it's pushed down and it's not just breaking above this 15-minute high, but it's kind of fighting to stay up here. If gold stays trading up here, then I don't know if that trade's going to work out. Because now most of this looks pretty efficient. Maybe it would trade down here first. I just don't know if it's going to come down here first or if it's going to just stay bullish and then come down here later. Based on the way that silver's moving, yeah, I'm not sure yet, man. I think someone asked me another question. Okay, I think I'm up to date with all the questions. I need coffee. Oh, shit. Get some coffee, Greg. Get some coffee, man. Okay. So far, guys, what have you traded? What have you not traded? Have you just stayed out of the game? Right now, I have no trades during this session. Waiting on possible, setups with indices. Silver still here. Staying patient on this one as well. I believe this was shared in here as well. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even send this silver oil idea. Okay, so here's the oil trade. Oil, I like oil buys. You can look at in the past and see if there's like key reversal zones within this range. So we've seen a lot of resistance over here in the past. Okay, and this is kind of starting to create a theme. So you can kind of see where the market has rejected previously quite significantly. You could use that to your favor. So like this has been just a recent right around 62.25. Or outside of that, if you just zoom in here and maybe you find some sort of consistencies, then you can look for that. If you want to narrow down where in the zone should I take my trade. So I'm going to go ahead and set up like right around here. And then based on how we're moving here, market looks like it wants to hold up. So let's see. There's some imbalance over here. We can trade into here. A little 5-hour action. Okay. If we zoom out some more, is there motive for this to go higher or to go lower? This high here with oil left more liquidity as well. Starting to see the market really struggle to stay with here. Everything else is pretty efficient. Maybe a little imbalance here, but yeah. Anyways, your best bet is to trade within the range if you want to take your exits. Obviously, if you're more confident in the swing, then this can go even further than that. But I'm going to give you this so far. Just waiting, no rush. Caught the long on Dow. Nice, Damien. ES buys, but I'm out now. Well done, CJ. Eyes out on NQ. Stop loss is break even. Great. JVP hit the mitigation zone. I'm waiting on that retrace after the consolidation setup. Okay. No trades, patiently waiting. Well done, guys. I mean, I like to see it. Sounds like a bunch of disciplined savages. That's not what I wanted to do. All right. So let me add oil here. Disciplined savages. That doesn't even make sense, huh? Okay. Before before I interrupted myself, we were still looking at crypto. So Sol, ETH, like they have very similar setups right now. What's going on with this? So sweep to the downside, market rallied. It's been bullish. So ETH looks solid. ETH as well. Take a look at that. Okay. So ETH. And when we have multiple setups like this, we don't necessarily need to, you don't need to take all of them. Just wait for the one that gets to the zone last. That's probably the one that's not going to wick out. So you have that. Bitcoin currently already mitigating this zone. Bitcoin got down to here first. So it kind of explains why we're currently seeing, what's that, silver? Okay, silver's getting into that zone, but I'm not going to look to trade silver. But we're currently getting into these areas faster with Bitcoin than ETH and Sol. So yeah, I'm just chilling. Honestly, yeah, I just wait here now. So now, update on silver. So silver now in this area where we originally wanted to sell, but since it's trading so bullish relative to gold, I'm opting out of selling this. So idea before was to sell in here. Now, not so much. It just looks like it's just so bullish. and gold also has these highs you can go to. So yeah, the probability of this did start to go down once this started to take over. Dow is starting to settle in up here. We've now been trading above these highs for a good almost 15 minutes or so. And Q also, right, rallying up here. It's trying to prove itself by getting above the 1 minute high here, but it is not quite, bullish yet. So it's struggling to stay up here. I think this is going to be another example where people are going to want to buy in Q right there. And I think it's going to break below again. Fire session. Appreciate it. We're live here every day, baby. Monday through Friday. So not every day, but yeah, y'all know what I mean. All right. While we let this ferment, let's go look at how our crypto's doing today. Some taking some smaller dips, others nothing's really too bullish today, which makes sense. Everything started off pretty bearish overall on the day. Stocks wise, let's see, is anything rallying? Walmart with a pretty strong dip down. Big gap down for Walmart. But Walmart trading pretty high up in its range, so not necessarily looking to buy any of this anytime soon. Just honestly at all, it's just Walmart 782 billion. So let's see, revenue's up. I think it's more of a narrative thing on this move down. I would be patiently waiting for Walmart. So if anybody likes those like conservative plays, you can see something there. We never really came back down to this gap from August. Curious. Let's see. Intel, after big moves up, starting to feel some of this imbalance here. I still I'm gonna hold this for some time up until we get at least beyond 34. Let's see what else took a dip today. Let's see. I'm still holding. Chewy, I'm holding. Dollar cost averaged in on this. My average is around like 36, I think. Let's see. All right. Everything else chilling. All right. So, I don't know how many of you, as traders, one of the big things that I think most traders don't do is you're not really thinking about how much money you keep, your net worth. So this is that reminder for you is to focus on that. Like, how much are you keeping? How are you building your actual wealth? Which is why I like to go over a bit of crypto, some stocks. We have emphasis on having those automated savings being set up that way. So definitely don't dismiss that. Have an intention, a plan for if you have debt, to work on that. Have an intention on building out a cushion so that trading can be a fulfilling, flourishing career for you. Because, if you have a 150K account, no savings, no, you should not quit your fucking job. I just got, you got a payout or two and you have a couple fundeds, but you have nothing set aside and you have debt, no, don't quit your job. So becoming, a full-time trader or just being on that path does require a lot of different things you need to consider. How are you set up financially? How are you set up with your debt? How are you pushing your net worth higher? How, do you want to trade forever? And do you want to be 74 years old trading paycheck to paycheck? Because you can be a paycheck to paycheck trader too. And yeah, so those are the things that we work on in the syndicate, because most people just don't have a plan and don't know what to do. I've been doing this for 10 years, so that's why we built it that way. So I don't really have much else. A lot of this is going to be waiting. So in the meantime, guys, make sure you're plugged into the community. Free community. Scan that QR code on the left. If you want to have an absolute bulletproof game plan to accelerate everything that you do as a trader. If you're getting funded and you keep fumbling the bag, consider the syndicate. Scan the code on the right. Just at least hop on the call, just so you can kind of get a perspective on what it can do for you. Same thing with if you're someone that, you feel like you know so much, but you just don't execute it the way you're supposed to, and you really need more, work on action steps, like actual thorough reflection on how things inside of you and within you are influencing your trading, then yeah, I would consider scanning the code on the right, see if it works, if it's the right fit for you. But for everyone else that's like, want to go at my pace, kind of want to go at my time, want to take advantage of only free resources, code on the left, and then go to the classroom. We will be adding some really cool stuff here for you guys. So you're going to be seeing actually a significant amount of new material for you guys, and a couple extra things that will give you a lot more guidance. So a lot of cool stuff we've been working on behind the scenes. We're super excited to deliver to the entire Tradetopia community. So yeah, much love, guys. Stay patient with these setups on indices. Set your alerts. Same thing with oil and anything else. Stay tuned in the community. For your sake of growth and personal accountability, my recommendation would be for you to post your charts, post your journaling in the community so you can get feedback and keep getting better, right? Let's set a culture of a high standard. That's what Tradetopia is all about. So much love, guys. We will see you again tomorrow. If anything gets close, or if I'm going to take something, I usually take the time to post in the free community. Otherwise, the syndicate is always on top of it. So take care, guys. I'll leave you here with some jams. And, I'll catch you on the next one.
You won't believe what I tell you.
reality doesn't really